So this is Spider the video game. We're gonna watch the cutscenes and play through the entire game, beginning to end. I recorded my blind playthrough years ago. You can watch that if you want, but this is a much more practiced, much better playthrough. Here comes the first cutscene, during which I will be mostly silent, except for right now.
Proceed with thought transfer. Verify ID. ID accepted. System ready. Executing thought control. Downloading. Cybernetic device operating under MindLink controller.
I want that technology.
System shutdown initiated.
Stop, you fool!
Caution. System shutdown incomplete. Unable to disconnect MindLink. Please check connection. System overload imminent. System overload imminent. System overload.
We just got brutally espionaged by some real experts in the field of espionage. So we are Dr. Michael Kelly, an expert in microtechnology. And he created a bunch of robotic bugs. And it so happens that the moment he transferred his consciousness into his robot spider, some people showed up and gunned him down. So, notably, this game features 0 spiders. Anything you see that appears to be a spider is a robot. So if you're arachnophobic, that might alleviate your fears somewhat, as long as it's not like severe arachnophobia. Legitimately, no spiders in this game. Don't worry your pretty little head. Also, there was some slight flashing lights during that cutscene. Every boss fight is going to have flashing lights, but otherwise, there will be no flashing lights. I'll try to call it out in advance before any of the upcoming boss fights. But if I forget, a little mnemonic for you is boss fights, flashing lights. So, if you see a boss coming up, be aware. Danger. The first level starts by you going left. Truly mind-bending. You can go right and you'll still get to the goal. It'll just take significantly longer than that. First level done. So, moving right along to the sinks. We start off in our own laboratory. doing as little combat as possible, because combat slows you down. What I'm going to show you today is the any percent speedrun route of this game, because that's what I've learned. But obviously we're going to include cutscenes, and I am not nearly as practiced at it as I ought to be. So, there will be mistakes. There are 0 intentional deaths in the speedrun route, so every single time I die, that's a mistake. A big mistake. That said, deaths are hard to avoid and not very costly. Some of them are very costly, but most of them will not be. Look at that, sick dodge. Right here, if you do nothing, you get a sick dodge. It's all about predictability. Like I said, I have practiced this game extensively at this point. And you have to watch me turn this into a speedrun. Now, we've done 3 levels. We got 3 microchips. That's the collectible you get at the end of each level. We have multiple microchips here in this 3rd level, and we need additional microchips. This game has 59 total microchips for the 100%. 38 is the bare minimum before they allow you to face the final boss. So we are going to get 38. But there are significantly fewer than 38 levels, thus we must do some backtracking. Nice. That jump is actually kind of a pain. And if you jump late there, the spider comes down early and you do get hit by it. But that smart bomb that I just picked up is very important. Ideally, in a perfect speedrun, we will hold the smart bomb that I just got for a long time. More on that later. So we're on to the factory. For some reason, the people who killed us want to take a detour through the factory. Their whims are unfathomable, but we are beholden to follow them. And I just lost my smart bomb. No surprise there, we have a backup for that. So it's not a big deal. This is getting to be a big deal. There we go. Don't actually have to stop there. Oh. I did get hit, weirdly enough. The spider's hitboxes extend around corners and stuff, so you can still get hit while they are leaving an area. Something you get used to playing this game. This game is from 1997. So to put that in context for my viewers, that is the year between Twisted Metal 2 and Twisted Metal 3, when there was no Twisted Metal game. I feel like I should have grabbed that. But those are surprisingly difficult jumps. There are no health refills anywhere in this level. So the fact that I just took a damage boost there means I will be down to 1 HP for the remainder of the level. And our max HP is 2. So you are always on the verge of death. Michael Kelly did not build this for durability. This is a stealth robot for spying on people and collecting their DNA. These little triangles are not Doritos. They are DNA strands. Because DNA exists in a triangle. If you look very closely at your skin, you'll see little triangles everywhere. That's your DNA. Trust me, I'm a scientist. And on to one of the hardest levels in the entire game, the conveyors. No joke. This level is very, very, very hard. Wouldn't think so. Super early on. This game's difficulty curve is completely wild. I would have taken a damage boost through the Crusher there. I don't have the health. Here's our health refill. They're very uncommon. But they do always spawn in fixed locations in every level. Some levels don't have any. Fixed locations in most levels. This jump off the conveyor belt is impossible-ish. But we gotta make it. This level has one microchip in it. And it is only located in a very inconvenient spot. Now, those little curve things I'm getting, those are data disk shards. The people who did espionage upon us are shockingly incompetent. They're supposed to steal our research and collect us because we know the secrets to how to use everything and, like, make more of the microtechnology. Instead of asking us and, like, taking us with them, they gunned us down and then crammed all of our research into a briefcase with a big hole in it. So all the enemies are other microtechnology robots that we created, and they're just spilling out all over the floor, getting destroyed. Like I said, most incompetent espionage in history. A damage boost is fine. Where did I leave off? We did... So, the data disks. We got the 3 pieces of the shattered data disk, and it gave us data, which is the location of a secret level. Every level has 3 shards of a data disk. We only get them in the second area, the factory. But we have gotten them. I'm down a smart bomb. This is where I need to do my backup. Come to think of it, I'm also going to play it a little safe here. There we go. I'm back up to 2 health. There was a little health refill on the ceiling there that you would never know about. But if you take it safe, walk along the ceiling instead of dropping down everywhere you can, then you get to refill your health. So, we have 2 smart bombs going into a boss. Flashing lights warning. I remembered it this time. We're gonna wait for the boss to attack. Blow it up. That's our flashing light. Just a full screen flash. We need to do that one more time. After we play a little jump rope. Hopefully I manipulated the boss to, yep, do that again. The boss is dead. Every boss in this game has weaknesses to a specific weapon type. That boss's weakness is smart bombs. If you bring 2 smart bombs, the boss dies in both of those hits. So every boss in this game has a skip. And I will be doing those skips in this playthrough. Barely made it underneath that crusher. But we needed that, and I wanted to take out the boss before the crusher had the opportunity to kill me, and thereby erase the 2 smart bombs that I had, and needed to kill the boss. If you're playing along at home. I do want to be on the ceiling here. So the reason we go to this bonus level is that it has 3 different microchips within it. And all of them are very quick. And it has some health refills, just in case. So we will probably leave here with a good amount of weapons and 3 additional microchips. The vast majority of microchip grinding is in the beginning few chapters, because later levels have microchips that take much longer to get. So those are the ones we'll be skipping. Like I said, we skipped 21 microchips. Damn. And that means specifically, I think it's the sewers, where we appropriately enough skip the most microchips. Because it's a sewer level. This game's sewer level is very good, though. I'm looking forward to it. But we got a long way to go. Let me try this. I didn't actually route this in the last time I ran this, but I think it's faster. We can jump over the first spider and then under the next one. Because the final of the microchips is down this tube, which you would think would be full of death water, but that is not the case. It's full of prizes. Right about here that's the maximum number of jumps we can do. Then we don't want to jump again because there's the last of the microchips. Now we can move on to another cutscene. The cutscenes just remind you of what's going on, because it's probably like hours between each time you see one. And it's always just those people spraying our research all over the streets. This health refill is super hard to get. I'm gonna get it. Gonna getcha. There we go. Sometimes I get sniped in the back by the slug, because the slugs have projectile shots. So when it loops around, it can shoot you while you're trying to get the thing. That was not worth it. We didn't need those weapons, though. And now I'm going to have to get that health refill again. The water here doesn't kill you, it just sinks you to the bottom. Which in and of itself is lethal. But the water itself could be said to be harmless. I think we could even, like, safely touch it. But the rocket launcher is placed slightly higher, which makes it much easier to grab. And the best part of the rocket launcher is it puts a little circle around your targets, which makes it easier to see them in advance. You'll note that the field of view is incredibly narrow. Enemies appear on screen, I'm going to say 1/8 of a second before you need to fight them. Pretty sure I did that math right. And that means you have to react in a split second. Otherwise, you're going to take damage and you've only got 2 HP. So don't take damage. This level is nice and easy, but we do need both of its microchips. Each level you have to get at least 1 microchip. But if there are multiple microchips, you can leave the others behind at your discretion. We obviously are going for the 38 fastest in the game. I'm really glad they routed in 1 secret level so that I get to show off the data disk thing. Because I really like the data disk thing. This level has a required jump right at the very beginning that is really hard. You can just barely make that. Fortunately, once again, we don't lose anything we needed. It's just weird how difficult that jump is. This gas can automatically sprays fire. Here's a guy. Oh, I was off cycle, I guess. Normally, if you just walk forward, that guy will jump over you. Being a little more cautious than I ought to be. Making more platforming mistakes than I ought to be. Calling this a speed run is definitely inaccurate, but that much is a work in progress. I'm showing you the speed run route, not a speed run. There's an important distinction. That distinction is speedruns are good. Oi. Went out of my way to get a fresh missile. Didn't really need it, but it's nice to have. Then we slash this springtail. It's probably supposed to be a cricket or something. That's always the weirdest bug to me. That's what's supposed to happen. Just show that bug nerves of steel and it will dodge you, instead of you having to dodge it. And then this will have one last jump scare trap right here. Got me anyway. Cost me my first game over. We effectively have infinite lives. The only thing a game over does is make you go through 2 additional loading screens. So it's a weird time-wasting mechanic. They should have just given you literally infinite lives. But then the DNA wouldn't do anything. And they wanted DNA to be a collectible for some reason. Right there. Get the enemy. Going over the river is also a very tight jump. Careful. When you cross a spot where there are... Oh my god, this spider is a real nightmare. When you cross a spot where, like, 2 different angles meet, you need to shift the angle that you're holding on the D-pad. Otherwise, your spider will just kind of vibrate in place. Which is not conducive to getting where you need to go. But we've seen this path numerous times. Let's make this the last one. Even gonna overkill spider here. Excellent homing. The homing is still trying to work on a 2D plane, because this is a 2.5D game. So it swerved off harmlessly. Now, this is a very, very, very long level. Didn't want to take that hit. But I have that much routed in. Close one. That's a predator. A predatoring mantis. Not preying. And yeah, it's like made out of liquid metal or something. So I guess it's more of a Terminator mantis. Whatever the hell it is, it's weird. And it proves that we are not bugs, we are definitely robots. In case there was any doubt. Can't believe I screwed that up, though. Just jump over that one safely. And I like to kill these things for safety, because they can be pretty unpredictable. Summon a Terminator here. Terminators have boomerangs, so watch out for that, but there he goes. He gets bored eventually and leaves, and then shows up behind you. Juked by a Terminator. This level certainly has some tricks to it. But now we need to go a little slower. Until we get here. And then I forget the route. But that's fine. Like I said, this is a hard level. It's a difficult level. This much is to be expected. We'll get a health refill. once we cross the first of the Terminators. So that's weird. The bat despawned, but the Terminator didn't. It took too long getting to that spot, so weird stuff happened. This game is very deterministic. If you do the same things every time, the same things will happen. Some things are on global cycles, whilst others are on local cycles, and only start moving once you are within range. So that's an important thing. You gotta always remember. And, compensate for. Once the bat turns, you can leap over the remaining grenades. You cannot damage boost through them, though, because it'll just drop more grenades on your head. Now the bat should have despawned. The Terminator can spawn in a number of locations, and that's one of the more inconvenient ones. Here we go. We get a health refill. Got a little overzealous because I forgot that the flame spouts had changed to be more dangerous. Almost got a grenade dropped on my head. Oh, just barely made it. Like I said, the Terminator spawns are not random, but they are very weird. They're determined by things that I just can't control. So just to be safe, I'm going to execute that one. Save John Connor. There is going to be another Terminator. Right about there. And this is the last enemy. Springtails are vulnerable to boomerangs. Every enemy has different weaknesses and different resistances. Chicken Little. So you'll note, the enemies showed up in a Microtech limousine. When we started out the game, we were in a building marked Microtech, doing our research. Our character was employed by Microtech to do nanotechnology research. God damn, that spider got me good. And, for some reason, the head of Microtech, that's a pun, keep that in mind, the head of Microtech decided to have us killed to steal the research that we were doing for his organization. The manual has a much more thorough, explanation of all this, but it doesn't change the fact that we were working on behalf of Microtech, and Microtech still assassinated us so as to do what we were already doing for them. Faster or something. It's the worst espionage plot that could possibly be. Beginning of this level is pretty tough, then the rest of it is very easy. Not very easy. It's still a volcano. Lava doesn't deal damage, it deals death. So don't touch the lava. There's a red scorpion there, you can't even see it against the background. Taking that damage boost is fine because... health refill. That damage boost is less fine. Less fine. There's a wasp over there going nuts. Depending on what that wasp decides to do is basically what determines how you advance if you have taken damage. So ideally, do not take damage. Ever. But yeah, scorpions are the greatest foe that we can possibly face. Because they're even more carcinized than spiders. We all know carcinization is the final form for all living things. So obviously, they have the crab claws. We don't have crab claws, therefore, scorpions are evolutionarily superior. Actual evolution does not play that out. Spiders are much more prolific in their distribution around the world. Words can be hard to say sometimes. But spiders are ridiculously successful in the grand scheme of biology. Scorpions much less so. Take that damage boost. Just accept its inevitability. Kill everything else whilst almost touching lava. Now here's one of my least favorite parts of the entire speedrun. Need to go down here, and over here, blind leap into the darkness, and hope to land on top of the thing. If you fail, gotta start from scratch. But that is the worst of the museum. The display cases level has 2 different microchips in it that both take forever to get. But luckily there's a microchip also right near the beginning. Oh, I need that electro. Okay, I gotta go back through this level now. In fact, yeah, I'm just gonna die. Reset this. That electro is part of the next boss skip. So I need to keep it at full. Not even take it out of the sheath. Which I assume is where my spider keeps his weaponry. That should be the last enemy. Here on the dinosaur skeleton. Perspective is getting a little trippy. Don't want that CD piece. But it's true, if you grab 3 pieces of a CD that have been shattered and you put them into a CD drive, it will give you all the information that was on that CD. Try that at home. I'm glad CD drives have been phased out such that you cannot try that at home. And I had the wrong weapon selected, so I gotta go back in again. It's a good thing my commentary is so riveting that we don't mind these extra loading screens at all. We're thrilled to have them, I think. Oh, wow. This part is so easy, too. Like, it is a boon that the electro is right near the beginning of this level, with no threats in the way. Nothing particularly dangerous. Just instant death platforming that is very, very easy compared to all the other instant death platforming. But there we go. Once we grab an item, we can quit out. We'll keep the item, and we can just hop back into the level and grab the item again. All it costs is a few loading screens. But in theory, we would not have needed to use any of those loading screens. That's right, no flame gout there. Then right here, we just want to stay on the ground and not touch the rocket launcher, as tempting as it is. Just go right for the very, very easy microchip, with no serious threats in the way. And head to the museum boss. Weird camera angle right at the very beginning. And then falling rocks for a long time. These rocks can randomly provide health refills. We don't need one right now, but if we get hit, we will. I've had, I think, 4 health refills spawn from the falling rocks, and I've also had 0. But typically I get 2. Almost every run I see 2 health refills. This time I'm seeing 0. Yeah, 0. So here's the boss. There's the boss. That's our skip. The boss is super, super vulnerable to electros. Hey, Blast Tyrant, even more support. I love it. They closed a sliding door in front of us. Thus, we need to go through the sewers to get into their base of operations. Because we do not have the weight to activate that sliding door ourselves. This game is very goofy. I assume intentionally. Like, this feels like a silly-ass game. There's some slime on the ceiling, so they knew our little exploit. And predicted it. Let's take the damage boost there. Get our Electro. And there we go. Wasp is on a good cycle for us. There's one spider right about there. And then we're pretty much home free. I think we need this Electro for something, but I need it to do that. Never mind. It didn't work. So because I landed between 2 different, like, angles, the game freaked out and didn't allow me to move forward there. This is a skip that they clearly knew about because they put a spider that only activates if you fall from above. The way I did. Up, landed right on top of a spider, so my caution has gone to waste. But yeah, they clearly knew that you could fall from above and very quickly get to the microchip that I almost got there. But it's very, very glitchy to do so. Game doesn't want you even trying it. Stuff like that'll happen. But you see what I'm trying to do here. I did mention this would be a very bad speedrun. Not really in world record contention right now. Wasps can move a random distance before they begin to fire. I actually do think that wasp behavior might be legitimately RNG. Whereas virtually everything else is completely deterministic. No more spiders in here. I can take my damage boost. Land the exact right spot. Get my microchip. And move right along. Along the sewer, that is. So, we needed the Electro from the last level. Do this level more efficiently. Ah, careful. Bats are very vulnerable to Electro. You just gotta tap the button and the bat dies instantly. This level has bats in very inconvenient locations. I'm also going to go for that health refill right there. Whoosh. Used more Electro than I wanted. I think there's only one more bat I need to kill, though, so we're probably fine. There he goes. Pretty much home free. There's some spiders in the way. Killing them for safety, but you can just hop over. One more bat. We got by it at the right time. And there we go. First microchip. The other microchip, this level has 2, was up the pipe just before that microchip. And here's my favorite level. Exclusively because of the music. It's the Miserloo Sewer. Surf rock in the sewer. What a dream. And I gotta say, I'm doing fantastically so far. Doesn't get much better than this. Don't even need that health refill for safety. But it's nice that the option is there. So this microchip is much, much easier to get than the other two in this level. So unfortunately, we do skip the other two. No more surf rock. I know. I'm gonna miss it. What's the route in this level? I remembered. This level looks exactly like the one we did earlier, so I get confused. Because I'm still learning the route. Shit. Okay, back on track. Some of the jumps are feasible, but they seem impossible, and you do gotta be, like, close to frame perfect to make them happen. Yeah, I guess that was probably Crash Bandicoot inspired. The Surf Rock Sewer level. Maybe I would like Crash Bandicoot. I've literally never played it. Not any game in the entire series. Uh-oh. Okay. I missed my ride. I think I might have thrown off all the cycles. Yeah. Not severely enough, though. We're fine. Actually killing one of the scorpions. Plenty more where that came from. This cycle is terrible. Yeah. It cannot be saved, so we gotta reset it by walking off screen. Scorpions can also fire shots at us. As soon as they stop, they're dead. And we do need to go up so that we can go around and get this microchip. It's the closest one available besides the first one that I got immediately. And then another cutscene. A very subtle reprisal of the surf rock theme, as we literally surfed on food cartons. Gotta love what this game does with perspective and stuff. That's a, like, semi-intentional death on this level. You don't want to go through this level, at least not up to that point, with less than full HP. Right there, you actually have to let go of forward for just the slightest bit. Too long, and the springtail will land on top of you, and too short, you will be in front of it. Thereby experiencing other issues. Oh my god. This bat is the worst placed enemy in the entire game. But we finally got it. There are faster ways to deal with that, but there are not safer ways to deal with it. Very sadistic placement of that specific opponent. You just gotta deal with it the way you need to. So clearly that's a resistance that the springtails have to the flamethrower. That took a lot of hits. I feel like this game comes from the same school of thought as Earthworm Jim, with all the goofiness, the different types of areas you go through, a mild run and gun type gameplay, and of course all the slap bass. Jumped way too early. I knew that Terminator rat was coming my way though. Terminator rats do not sink into the floor the way Terminator mantises do. They're always visible and always dangerous. So here we need to drop through the floor. Just be aware in advance that that's going to happen. Playing through this game takes a lot of trial and error. My blind playthrough is heavily edited to minimize frustration of the viewer. I enjoyed it immensely, but there is still a lot of frustration to be had. Especially because one of the hardest levels in the game is, like, the 5th level. Absurdly enough. And then these later levels are all excruciating. This level's not going to go well. I'm trying to reverse commentator curse myself here. Make it go well by saying it won't. So we have an electro to deal with that specific bat, and I refuse to use it. I am going to use a smart bomb here, so screen flash warning right about now. Hope that was enough warning. Clever. Didn't kill me, though. In fact, that might have been slightly faster than my original plan. That said, I do have to go through the level again with 1 HP. Can't believe that spider doesn't get me. You see how quickly that spider appears before it would run into us. It's pretty ridiculous, some of the level design here. This was the first game by Boss Studios. Happy Labor Day. Guillotine your boss is what this game encourages you to do in its own eye catch. But there are definitely design choices that are bad. Just plain bad. A more experienced studio probably would not have made those specific choices. However, a more experienced studio would not have made such a hard-to-market game in the first place. Probably. So I'm glad this game exists in any form. I'm quite happy with it. I love this game immensely. And you'll notice, this is the final level of the video game. You may not have noticed our current microchip count, but it is significantly below the 38 we need. Don't worry about that, I have a plan. Get dead. That's one way to refill your health. Arguably the worst way, though. I've talked about how incredibly long some of the other levels are. This is, I want to say, by far the longest level in the game. It's certainly the longest level in the game. I don't know by how wide a margin. But the first possible microchip you can get is very, very deep into the level. And because we are on the ceiling, if we take damage, we fall. And it's a bottomless pit below us at all times. Except for now, when we're lucky to have a damage plane below us. Got a health refill. Actually gonna take this nice and slow, but there are much faster ways to go through there. I'm gonna get this for safety. And then I'm gonna crawl around here and sty. Sty. You need to slash that scorpion. But you need to fully curve around the bend before you start slashing. Otherwise, you will slash around the scorpion whilst it hits you, no problem. Because it has projectiles. That jump there is much harder than I'm making it look. So hard that I get distracted and run into the spider right on the other side. But yeah, the 2.5D perspective is not just for show. Like, it actually does affect your hitboxes and where your damage goes. Ate my jump there, unfortunately, so I didn't get any momentum. That was because it was where two planes meet, and thus, holding forward would just cause me to curve around the edge, and then when I jump, after curving around the edge, I get no forward momentum. So that series of jumps is very, very hard. They're all extremely tight. Fortunately, they are at the relative beginning of the level, which is still deeper into the level than any other, like, entire level in the game, but... No, I couldn't save it. Alas. Up and around again. And like I said, this is the last level of the game, but we do have to go back and grind some microchips. That much is intentionally routed in, because there's also a final boss skip, which is much less dramatic than the other two boss skips we saw. But still very important to do, because the final boss is otherwise very, very difficult and very, very long. I think there's a way to jump over the scorpion and not take any damage there. I do not find it to be a very consistent method. So I tank it, and I get the health refill. Let's try this again. It won the quick draw! I said it was a mercy that the really, really hard jumps are all at the very beginning. But that scorpion is an anti-mercy. Yeah, this game should absolutely be zoomed out significantly. That is artificial difficulty that it is this zoomed in. It's good for speedruns. This is a great game for speedruns, I think. But full memorization of every enemy in the game is basically required in a casual playthrough. Meaning you'll take a lot of deaths that aren't your fault at all. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I hate to do it, but at this point it's kind of necessary. Wait for you. More difficult jumps. But there we go. That is the earliest possible microchip out of 3 in this level. And now, we need 4 more microchips, even though that was the final level. So back we go to the model city, which has 3 of the microchips we need. We need to go explore the rest of the level. That damage was intentional. It is avoidable, I just don't know how. So I just take it. It's fine. There is a health refill just over this pyramid. And no significant threats. You saw the bat, just doesn't do anything to you. And the spider, so long as you know it's there, you can jump right over it. However, that bat, 1% of the time, will drop a grenade directly on your head. That I guess I went a little early. This level is hard on the speedrun route. So it's unfortunate that we save it for last. And then you get impatient, and you directional input yourself right into that hole. The only reason that hole exists is so that you get impatient and push yourself in before you hit the ground and gain control in the first place. So this you do gotta be patient. Here you don't. Here you can skip one flame jet. That's the only flame jet you get to skip this whole level. And there are many, so we need a boomerang. I'm gonna regret taking so long to get it, though. See, I regretted it. There we go, that's how you do not take damage on that spider. So we need to do this flawlessly 3 times. Is the reason we choose to come back to this level is it has weapons that are essential for the boss skip. Now we can only hold 2 of those weapons. Get the health refilled, just to force a habit. So technically, if I die after I get this next microchip, it'll be fine. See? That's before the microchip, though, so that doesn't help me in the slightest. Getting good at the spider skip, though. Oh. Could have jumped that. It's fine. But yeah, I need that boomerang. And the mech mine. I don't think I've ever showed off what the mech mine does, not even in my casual playthrough. Because rear leg weapons are pretty useless. You can hold two weapons on your front legs, 2 weapons on your hind legs. And they are different sets of weapons. Oh my god, I can't believe I beefed that jump. That was the easy part. But that's fine. No reset. Casual pseudo speedrun. A speed walk, we'll say. Speed stroll. Yep. Now we're in trouble. But I had 2 HP, so I could have tanked a hit from the bat, who decided not to hit me. So, good luck there. Now we have more tight jumps. Jump first, then hold forward. Then you get exactly where you need to go, and we return to see more of this level. Certainly not my favorite level. Never had a very high opinion of this one. Certainly not after having to play it many, many times to get at least good enough to get through without dying consistently. And clearly I am very consistent about just that. This should be fine. Yeah, the bat had no chance of hitting me there. We have 2 mech mines. So at this point, I cannot die. Death means I will have to take additional runs at this level that are otherwise unnecessary. There's a data disk shard that we do not need. What we do need is the final microchip in this level. We no longer need any more weapons, but we do need to not die. Obviously, if we die, we lose all of our weapons. I don't like what this bat is doing. Bats are highly resistant to boomerangs, though. And I've knocked him off cycle. But he's dead. Being overly cautious there probably saved me time in the long run, because the bat was on a really bad cycle. Wasn't much I could do about it at that point. It all depends on when you scroll him on screen. There I got kind of lucky, if I'm honest. But the vast majority of the time, you can just go under there. That flame jet, the spider walks just close enough to it for it to hit you. We have the HP to spare, but I'd rather not spare it. And that's why we need the boomerang. Otherwise, the jump across the flame jet is virtually impossible to do. And we need to have all our HP as we go into the wells. So the wells has a closer microchip for us than most levels. And most importantly, this poisoner that we can just barely get. There we go. That is the other of the final boss's weaknesses. Mech mines and poisoners. But we gotta go through the whole level to keep what we have. That's right, it's, yep, over here. We're getting my route pretty badly, but we're back on track. I'm gonna boomerang you. I think it takes 2 hits, which is fine. Want to make sure I have the poisoner selected so I don't overwrite it, because I do have to come back and get 2 poisoners. And right over here, you might have seen it the first time we went through this level. That went more painlessly than usual. Now to just go back, get 1 more poisoner, and we face the final boss. You'll notice that the spider is now fully chromed out. This is even my final form. 2 poisoners, 2 mech mines. Check that out. Oh, look at that, they've got little eyes, little pedipalps. I never noticed how detailed this spider was. Excellent work, Boss Studios. Shame you made basically shovelware for the rest of your career. Another cutscene as we approach the boss. The boss is a giant brain. This was foreshadowed in the opening cutscene, where it zoomed through the, shareholders board, and the person giving mysterious orders was behind, bubbly water, because they're a brain in a jar. We are about to get in that jar. Wish me luck. We have 1 chance. We need to use all of our weapons. If we die, we lose all of our weapons. And everything the boss does is RNG after this moment. It is guaranteed to do 1 laser and then 1 tail stab. Afterwards, completely random. We need a laser to break each of the pylons. Then a tail stab into the pylon to deal the maximum amount of damage with our poisoner. So we're hoping for a tail stab now. We got it, but we died. I have a save state for just this occasion, because I knew this would happen. I mean, obviously. My first time recording this speedrun thing. But it's very volatile, right at the very end. It all comes down to RNG right at the very end. Come on, laser. That's not a laser. You get a very small window to dodge. If you jump, the window's slightly larger. But it does get you closer to the thing. Yeah. So we're ready. We're ready for all this. You need a bit of prediction. It's very lucky that it does the exact right thing. Right at the very beginning, at least. Then I'm certain it's going to be tail stabs. You can watch the wiggling spine, and you'll get a good sense for what it's going to do. It won't attack during a wiggle. Except with the eye lasers. Okay, so this is very good. 1 more of those and we win. Come on, stab it. Yes! And time.
Power overload. Power overload. Power overload. System failure imminent. Power overload. Power overload. Power overload. System failure imminent.
Microtech mess with the wrong microtechnology expert. We out microteched them and blew them all to hell. But the spider survived. I know you were worried about that. We did it. Mission complete. Spider the video game over. And yes, Michael Kelly's bullet-riddled corpse is back alive. No problemo. The spider was trained in CPR and first aid. So he's fine. Don't you worry about that. All is well. So there is a bad ending to this game, which I'll show off after the credits here, which you have to select manually from the title screen. There's also a, I'm going to say alternate ending if you get 100% of the microchips. And every bonus level also has a microchip inside of it, so you also have to get 100% of the data disks. Then you can see something else happen instead of Michael Kelly exploding the Microtech home office. That is in the full playthrough that I did. Check that entire 3.5-hour recording out if you want to see what that's all about. Or look it up on YouTube. It might be somewhere on YouTube. I don't know. I can't remember if I was able to find it. But I know I recorded it. So there we go. Now let's watch the bad ending. The bad ending is very, very easy to get. Simply start the game, hit exit, it will automatically game over. This game is over. And then you accept your failure and hit end game. Cue bad ending.
Broadcast unit is fused with the skull. I can't take this off.
Just cut it off.
They chainsawed our skull open and stole our brain so as to withdraw all the information from it. I guess they have data syringes in addition to the ability to run broken data disks in their CD-ROMs. It's fairly disturbing. But that's Spider the video game. I love this game. One of my favorite games of all time. A sorry excuse of a speedrun, but I did want to show off the cutscenes and stuff, so I hope you enjoyed that. If you've never seen this game before, that's a blast that you just had, I'm sure. This game is fantastic. And if you are interested in speedruns of this game, I'll be practicing them very, very frequently in the coming weeks. So tune into my Twitch channel. Those will not be uploaded to YouTube, so if you want to see them, come join me. I might set a decent pace eventually. Clearly, a great deal of practice is needed. Thank you for watching Spider the video game, and have yourselves a good one.